So right now the S&P 500 is at all-time highs, and you can see just how close we are to reaching 7,000 points, which is absolutely magnificent. Just for context, 30 years ago from today, the S&P 500 stood at 748 points. We are so close to seeing it 10 times that figure, which is absolutely crazy in my opinion. Over the past year, the S&P 500 has returned investors over 15.5%. Now, I decided to run this experiment for an entire year, and I used this fund here, which is one of the cheapest ways as a UK investor to be invested into the S&P 500. This is the SPDR S&P 500. However, one problem here is you can see over the past year, it is not even close to the returns the S&P 500 made on the actual index. In fact, its performance is higher than the Vanguard S&P 500, but it still is only 8.59%. Now, I think this is the most popular fund to track the S&P 500 as a UK investor, and as you can see, this fund is up by 7.43% over the past year. This does have a higher fee than the SPDR version, so let's go back to that. So I started this experiment on the 12th of May 2025. That was not long after the flash crash that we saw, which wiped out 20% of the value of the S&P 500. Granted, it didn't last long. However, at that point, we didn't know if this was a dead cat bounce or if we were going to see a bigger crash. And therefore, a lot of people held off investing. And I just wanted to start this series showing people, it's not always the worst time to start investing. This series also tries to answer the question whether or not, lump summing or dollar cost averaging would have been better over the year. For example, if I were to lump sum on the 12th of May with £2,400, or would it have been better to invest £10 every single day into the S&P 500? Now, as always, I'm using the Trading 212 app to showcase this, and if you would like to sign up to Trading 212 and receive a free fractional share worth up to £100, then all you have to do is to follow the link in the description box down below. Alternatively, if you've already signed up to Trading 212 over the past 10 days but haven't received your free fractional share, then all you have to do is to press the 3 horizontal line menu over here. Scroll all the way down until you see the section use promo code, and in this section just enter my code JUBAIR and you should receive a free fractional share. Now, as you can see, I started this experiment on the 12th of May. So on this day, I actually bought my first shares with a price of £10.74. So if instead I had lump summed £2,400 instead of investing £10 every single day for 240 days, today I would have 223.38 shares. Now, this is going to be a very important number as we're going to use that to compare the difference between lump sum investing and dollar cost averaging. Now, in case you're wondering why this fund returned about half the performance of the S&P 500 index that I showed before, well, unfortunately here in the UK, we can't really invest into the S&P 500. We have to invest into a fund that buys shares in the S&P 500 in dollars, and then we buy it in pounds. So there's a currency exchange difference. And unfortunately, over the past year, this has meant that as UK investors, we received a whole lot less. Although over the long term, the currency fluctuations, they may or may not actually even out the ride. So going for a currency hedged version of the S&P 500 may not actually improve performance over the long term. So like I said, I invested £10 every single day into the S&P 500. I used this pie here. Now, this allows me to auto invest £10 every single day, which includes the weekends. Now, obviously, the stock market is closed on Saturdays and Sundays and bank holidays. So on those days, the £10 is taken out from my cash in my account. However, until the next working day, it doesn't actually go into the stock market, so do bear that in mind. You can see since my last update, the value of the S&P 500 fund that I've been holding actually has gone down. It's gone down around 0.5%, as you can see here. So these are the results after investing 240 days of £10 every single day. My S&P 500 fund is now up by 6.77%, and that is a return of £162.56. So in other terms, you can think about it as 16 days worth of deposits for free, although you haven't realized this until you sell it. So currently I hold 203.28 shares by buying, £10 worth every single day. Now, if we had lump sum invested £2,400 240 days ago, we would have had almost exactly 20 more shares. Now, this is actually a big difference, and the difference is quite shocking in my opinion. Today, my shares are worth £2,562.56 because I invested £10 every single day. However, if I had invested £2,400 240 days ago, my shares would be worth £2,815 £253. That's actually a massive difference. The difference is £253.37. Now, to put that into perspective, that's another 25 days worth of £10 every single day, basically on top as an extra. Now, in terms of a percentage difference, Trading 212 this time has worked this out pretty accurately because I have checked with my calculator. They have done an update recently and hopefully that sorted out some of the percentage, difference calculations on their end. In either case, by investing £10 every single day into the S&P 500, I've received a return of 6.7%. So after 240 days, I don't think that is the best ever investment anyone could have ever made. However, if I had lump sum invested £2,400 even into this fund here, which has only returned 8.59% over the past year, I would have had a return of 17.3%. That's more than 2.5 times the difference that I would have received had I invested £10 every single day instead of the lump sum. Now, I've done this update every single month since I've started, and the longer the time period goes, the more shocking the results or the bigger the difference really gets. Even with this fund down by over 0.4% over the past month, I feel like the gap is widening between lump summing and dollar cost averaging. So obviously this is not a foregone conclusion. I can't exactly remember what last month's figures were, but you can actually go and check to see if, this month's volatility actually helped with the dollar cost average versus lump sum investing argument. But you can see over the past 240 days, clearly lump sum investing would have won against dollar cost averaging. And in my opinion, I would always lump sum instead of dollar cost averaging if I already have the cash. So make sure to check out some of my other videos and I'll see you in the next video.